It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And we'll see Bryce Young. There were no problems for him last week, going over 350 passing yards. It's the Panthers and the Buccaneers, and it comes your way next.
Still a bit warm here in Florida, but really all things considered, a wonderful fall afternoon for football here in Tampa at Raymond James Stadium. Today we've got a Week 6 matchup for you here, as it'll be the Carolina Panthers taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Buccaneer ball club. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Panthers, they too were losers last week, so they're also hoping to get back in the win column.
Something's got to give in this one, right? Both teams want to start a new streak, and they both want it to be a victory. This should be a fun one.
Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And this will go as a touchback, and they will begin things at the 25. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback.
We're seeing it more and more in this league, how teams love to have athletes back there taking the snaps, guys who can throw it and move around and get yardage with their legs if needed. He's one of the best examples that we see out there right now. He can throw for hundreds of yards one week and then run for 100+ the next. He adds an extra dimension that really confounds defenses when he puts it all together.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. He'll look to throw. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and it goes down. Derek Brown in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. 3 and out, a real danger here on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 12. He'll drop to throw. And he's going to go down again. Derek Brown, 2 plays in a row now that he has gotten in there for the sack, and it brings up 4th down.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if I'm going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
A 4th down. Here's Jay Camarda on to punt for the Bucs. Take it at the 37. A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. So here now are the Panthers for their first drive of the game. And they will be led out by their signal caller in his 2nd year of the NFL now.
He had the numbers of a game last week that if you win, you talk about him being a gritty guy, managing the game, getting it done. But they lost. So obviously 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown pass, that's not going to be good enough. Got to get that changed around.
And he'll take this from one 47-yard line to the other. A gain of 6. The numbers for Mingo last week. 7 catches, 89 yards.
And he was able to haul that pass in there, but he knows he's got a tough task ahead of him. This unit in the top 5 in the NFL against the pass. He's going to have to really work hard to get open.
And he cannot get away, and Young will go down. Joe Tryon from that outside linebacker spot gets in there. It's a loss of 9. Let's see here, Charles. He was sacked 6 times last week. Now a first-quarter sack. What's going on in his mind?
Well, he's thinking to himself, 5 offensive linemen. I got sacked 6 times last week. Let's start thinking about keeping extra people in. Tight end stays in. If I have a fullback or the running back, they stay in and help me block. Maybe not as many receivers in a pattern. Anything to try and slow down that pass rush.
And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th. We'll get a pause here. There appears to be a Panther who was shaken up on that last play. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. And he punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. Tampa Bay, they're getting ready to set up shop here for their second drive. And Charles, what a battle this is within the division, because these guys, they've got the lead, but not by much. On the other side of the field, they're knocking on the door and trying to equal them in the wins category.
And I love that second part that you talked about, equaling them in the wins category, because if somehow you get down to the end of the year and they're tied in record, head-to-head's always the first tiebreaker. So the winner of this game, they'll have a big advantage.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. They'll look to throw here. He'll get that out to the flat to White. And that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the first at about the 21. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. And, you know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, you know, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. They went 3 and out on their first drive. Things already looking better here. 1st and 10. They'll go again with Sanders. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Dalton. For Marshall, that's complete. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. Now a 2nd and 6. Play action here with Dalton. That's complete. Again, he's got Marshall. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7 as that one officially a loss of 1. Here's Dalton. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Logan Hall fighting through and dropping him for the sack.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack. Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
Yeah, he looked like he was favoring something in the left leg. Appears to be fine now, but you're right. That O-line, they got to protect it. 4th down, so they send out Trenton Gill. There, this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. We've seen both of these offenses still sort of in that figuring things out phase, but I suspect some action on the scoreboard soon as they start out here 1st and 10. They begin the drive on the ground. It's White. Gets around him. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
They go right back to White here on 1st down. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning it in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
2nd and 6. And that's complete. It's Chris Godwin. And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 44-yard line. That one good for 16 as the drive continues.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Back to throw now on first down. Looking for Godwin again, and he's got him once more. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. This duo locked in, 14 yards there, and a first down. A quick throw caught by Evans out wide. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Now we're going to get a timeout. Here's we've got an injured Buccaneer. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. Rookie to rookie on the hook up there, and it's a first down. They'll look to throw again. He's got Otten on the out route. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be second down.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. On second down, they'll run with White. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. A 5-yard gain there makes it first and goal. We're scoreless after 1. Second quarter now in Tampa Bay. It's the Buccaneers in control of the football. First and goal from the 6. As they've got it as we resume action. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He'll leave this one for White. And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's second and goal. They'll set up a throw to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
They had a good chance to get the first points of the game on the board, but what a great job defensively, getting a hand in there, knocking it away, and preventing that first touchdown.
White. And he is going to lose yardage here. That winds up being a 4-yard loss and leads to fourth down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
And now the Tampa Bay field goal unit comes out here from the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And this one is right through, and the Bucs take a 3-0 lead. So that kick gives them their first points of the game, CD, and it comes on the third drive, but hopefully for them that's a spark that gets that offense going.
Yeah, and I would say if you're the offensive play caller, as you look at your sheet, you're trying to find that part on there that unlocks bigger points. They've struggled with a few drives so far, finally got 3 out of it. How do you find the end zone? That's what he's searching for now.
Carolina getting set to take the field. Yeah, they dipped a game below 500 following the loss last week, and you get the sense that maybe this team's at a little bit of a crossroads here.
Yeah, I think that's a really good way to put it, because what's that old malaprop? If you come to a fork in the road, take it. Because this crew, they're losing ground fast. They've got to start winning some ball games. And the good teams, they're starting to separate themselves, and these guys are being left behind.
Now whistles. Flag down, and I believe one of the Panthers got moving early. The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. They were looking good on second down, but now they're backed up 5 yards by the false start, and it's 2nd and 8. They'll run with Sanders up the middle. And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, That's a big day.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on third down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
And the fair catch is made at about the 27-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
2nd and 3. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down. Here's Jake Camarda now. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And a fair catch called for and made at the 12-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Panthers will have a 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. Dalton and the Panthers now with a 1st and 10 at their own 13. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He's got Mingo. Now inside the 25. Touchdown, Carolina. Jonathan Mingo, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Panthers have taken the lead. And he showcased his blazing speed on that one.
Was he wearing football cleats or track spikes? Because he was gone. Big-time play. And just think about what that does if you're a receiver on the team with him. Well, that's got to open things up for you as well, because if I'm a defense, I've got to get back deeper and deeper in order to keep him in front. But I'm not sure how many can actually keep him in front with that speed.
Extra point by York is up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. So out come the Bucs now. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3 and out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
But now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. Now back to throw. Shoves him aside. And good power running, but he's still going to be about a yard short. The scramble good for a nice gain of 10 yards, but still 4th down.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
Fourth down, so Jake Camarda is out there. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
So Dalton now. He completes this one to Mingo. He's exceeded his receiving yards from a week ago, and we're still in the first half. It's a first down.
It's a gain of 6. First down and 30.
To throw here, Dalton. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up second down.
Brings up 2nd and 10. The 24-yard line.
Passing, it's Dalton. Throw left side complete. That's Marshall. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Well, he certainly thought he had a window to push that ball downfield, but as soon as he released the throw, the corner was there to slam that window shut.
Now here's Trenton Gill now. The call for a fair catch, and it's made at about the 23-yard line. Well, Rachaad White and the rest of this Tampa Bay offense going back to work now. And we checked the rushing numbers so far here into Week 6, and the returns have been really good. Now, you're starting to hit that stride middle of the season toward the end. They're certainly hoping they can keep up this production.
They are, because one of the adages in the NFL is that defense travels and defense endures even in bad weather, right? You know what else does? A good running game. And people want that, especially as you're head down the stretch. You may play outdoors in some nasty stuff. You're trying to get to the playoffs. This is the time to get it going. And individually, I don't think you should just think about 1,000 yards either. The bar has to be set higher with this beginning.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now a give up the middle. This is White. Breaks through the contact, and they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. First down, Tampa Bay there, a gain of 13.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
They're looking for Godwin, but it's intercepted. Picked off by J.C. Horn. Still going inside the 20. And he is not quite going to make it all the way in. They'll mark him down right about the 1-yard line.
Well, this is something we've seen before, partner. We've seen a defense bait a rookie, pretend to leave a window open, and then the defensive back jumped it as soon as the ball was released. Big-time play. They love taking advantage of the youngsters, and in this case, it paid off well.
The Carolina offense about ready to go. And really, you can't have a better situation than this. 1st and goal at the 1. Suddenly, it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. Sanders is into the end zone for a Panthers touchdown. Well, nothing fancy there, Charles. You had 3 tight ends on the field. They were going to run the football. The defense knew it, but the defense couldn't stop them.
And I haven't met an offensive line yet that doesn't get more satisfaction out of running the football into the end zone than pass protecting. They had determination on their side, and they got it done.
The York on now for the extra point. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. To return, this is Eddie Jackson. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, and some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes and get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster. They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. The Bucs on third down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and a mile. And the pressure gets there. He'll go down. It's a sack. And it is going to bring us to the 2-minute warning. And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Fair catch called for and made at about the 32-yard line. Now Dalton with a 1st and 10.
That swung out wide to Sanders.
And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 35-yard line.
Now Dalton. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Dalton now to pass.
That one deep from Marshall.
And that's caught inside the 30. A big play there for Carolina. 53 yards.
Well, as my dad would say sometimes, I'm just scratching my head here trying to figure out what was going on there defensively. How did you lose him in the middle of the field? If you're going to lose a receiver, make sure it's someone on the short side of things, not deep downfield, that can hurt your defense.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a 1st down in the red zone. And Dalton to throw. Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it's 2nd down.
A 7-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 3 at the Bucs' 5-yard line.
Throwing, Dalton. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down. They look to throw on 3rd with Dalton. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I know we're just in the second quarter and there's a ways to go in this game, but that's a 2nd drop. I'm wondering if that's a little bit of an alarm bell for them when they start calling plays on the offensive side of the ball.
His eyes already looking upfield on that last one before he brought it in.
York able to send this one through. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line.
25-yard line.
All that remains is to snap this once, and that'll do it for the first half of play. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we toss it an hour or so east of here to Orlando, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks. A few teams starting to rise to the top as it's time to take you around the NFL here in Week 6. In that first half, we saw the veteran Miles Sanders doing his thing. He wound up finding the end zone on a touchdown run to help give his guys the advantage here at the break.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
17-3 the score as we resume action for the second half on EA Sports.
From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
Out come the Panthers. They'll have it first on offense in the third quarter.
And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. And I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
And he'll lose yardage here, back to the 15. A rough go there on third down, a loss of 4.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
Here's the Panthers punter now, standing just about on his own goal line. Here's Jackson to return. 44-yard punt, return of 9. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the second half. And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points.
Shaq Thompson on the tackle that time.
Ball right on the 50-yard line. Here's 2nd and 6.
They keep it on the ground. White again. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5. They're going to look to throw.
And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
Concentration, so key on a ball like that. It's hard. I know how difficult it is, but that's a ball you've got to come up with. And instead, a big play is going to slip through their fingers, literally and figuratively.
Here come the Panthers now, set to take over on offense.
No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts.
1st and 10 for Dalton. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Shaquille Barrett from his outside linebacker spot, forcing the sack for a loss of 8.
Like how they've started the third quarter here. They force a punt on the first drive, and after this sack, it looks like they'll be forcing another one as well.
Absolutely. Maybe got their second win coming out of the locker room. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Here's Dalton.
This ball complete. It's an out route to Thielen.
So just 3 yards on the completion there. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Dalton.
Open man is Mingo. Complete.
And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. Boy, a nice play there as they wind up converting on 3rd and 15. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Andy Dalton. And incomplete, he dropped it. Maybe a rookie mistake there, 2nd down. Here's Dalton. He's got a man. That's Marshall. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
And again, Andy Dalton to throw. That is caught. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 36. A good pickup there, a 22.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
On 1st and 10, here's Andy Dalton. That's caught left side by Hardman. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. A first down throw coming for Dalton.
He's going to drop this down to Sanders.
Yeah, that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space.
Touchdown, Panthers.
Terrace Marshall
From 19 yards away.
And the Panthers have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Extra point by York is up and good.
And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Jackson now to return. And Tampa Bay trots out there now.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Inside 4 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10.
There's a short one taken in by Otten.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
60 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw.
And there's a short one taken in by Otten.
It'll be a gain of 5, and that'll make it 2nd down.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5 at their 49-yard line.
He'll look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Evans.
And Evans will have a Bucs 1st down as he's going to get this down to the 45-yard line.
Back to throw here. And he completes this to Russell Gage. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And that's going to bring up 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 3 at the Panthers' 37-yard line.
They run straight ahead here with White. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
If you're looking for glory, looking to get your name in the headlines, you do not want to play nose tackle. But how about what we just saw there? The ability to hold people up, take on extra blocks, and actually slip them and make a tackle on that play. That's big time.
No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down. We have played 3 quarters. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Tampa. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. They'll run for it. This is White. And boy, this is going to be close. That mark looks a little short, and he didn't get there. The Bucs try it on 4th down, but come up empty. And the Panthers will get the football back.
Partner, when you see a running play stop short like that, you just know that the defensive front, they won the battle of leverage and created the push back into the opposing backfield.
And for the offensive coordinator, whether you had 1 yard to go or 20 yards to go on 4th down, now you're probably saying, oh, maybe I should have passed it, right?
Yeah, hindsight is always 20/20.
They start on the ground here at Sanders.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
It's a gain of 9. Brings up 2nd and a yard.
How about this? They'll try the option. Left side. Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave them with a third down. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. Here's the Panthers punter now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over.
Now, this game went off the rails early for them and never really got back on track. And these fans, they were expecting to be on the other side of the scoreboard. But that is not the case as we play on here this 4th quarter.
And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
And they're at the point of the ball game now where they've got to take some chances. They've got to put the ball in the air and just see what happens. But this defense knows that all too well.
They'll go up the middle with White. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43.
70 yards rushing for him now to this point.
And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, it makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And that'll get them the first down as they get 9 yards out of that quick slant. They'll drop to throw. Fights through it. He's got his man. It's White. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. He got 29 yards that time.
A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
Here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. So the completion good for just 3. And that will bring up second down.
Second and 7 at the 16-yard line.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
That to the sideline, and it's intercepted. And the Panthers are going to have it here at their own 15.
Those INTs all sting, but you throw one in the red zone, I think especially as a rookie, maybe it stings a little bit more.
I think what you're saying is they don't all count the same, do they? Right? Interceptions in the red zone that you've given up points now, those are precious. So you have to learn from those and in a hurry.
The possession of the football goes over to Carolina. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable 4th quarter lead. Dalton and the Panthers now with a 1st and 10
at their own 15.
He'll start with a handoff to Sanders.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
These two teams, they met in Charlotte earlier in the year with the Panthers coming out on top. So if they can win here in Tampa, they'd be able to claim the season sweep. 2nd down, back to Sanders.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. The offense on 3rd down, they're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it with Sanders. And he gets it to the 32, good enough for a first down. The drive stays alive, a 3rd down gain of 8. Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show up their biceps because they're doing exactly what you just described, manhandling the defensive front. They've got the leverage, they are powering through, and they're controlling this game.
1 yard gain. Brings up 2nd and 9.
It's a second down run with Sanders. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
For Marshall, that's complete. It'll be a gain of just a yard, and that's going to make it 4th down.
He's taken out of bounds behind the line of scrimmage.
Here's the Panthers punter now, as he's on here to punt it away. Fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 15-yard line. The Buccaneers offense ready to rock and roll again. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete. Under 4 to go now as they come up on 2nd down. He'll look to throw. He's going to have the hook up to Gage. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. And now they're in the hurry up.
It's a gain of 5.
They'll look to throw. The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Now on 4th down here, that pass knocked away and incomplete. The Bucs try it on 4th down but come up empty. And now possession will go over inside the 15-yard line. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen.
Under pressure, and he'll go down back at the 26-yard line. Joe Tryon picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Sanders here as they run out of the gun. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. This defense not budging. Back-to-back carries of just 2 yards. Cade York on now for the field goal. From the left hash, this from 37. York able to send this one through, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
Back now comes Tampa Bay. Well, probably not much that they can do at this point, CD. Down 3 scores late in the 4th quarter. This is going to be a little too much to overcome, you would think.
Yeah, they'll go down swinging, but in the end, I think we saw the writing on the wall a while back because one team was clearly better than the other in this one. And while it didn't quite reach blowout status, I think we knew who was going to win this one well before we got to this stage.
At the 27-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 8. He's got Otten. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
Face man. Defense.
So it was already a gain on the completion, but tack on some more with that penalty.
Absolutely. No matter what angle you're making the tackle from, you can't grab the face mask, and that's just putting your defense on its heels just a little bit more.
So the penalty yards marched off on the face mask. Here's 1st and 10. They'll set up to throw. Under pressure, and down he goes. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go in the game. This is caught inside the 15. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And he holds it in for the Buccaneer touchdown. Russell Gage, an 11-yard touchdown. And the Buccaneers are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. Coaches must really like to see that from the quarterback, because he's had the interceptions in this game, but they're able to connect on the touchdown pass.
And teammates love to see that, because they know that they miss blocks during a game, but they come back and make them later on. They miss tackles, right? They miss making plays, but the spotlight is magnified on your quarterback. And when he stands up to the pressure and comes back and throws a touchdown pass after throwing some picks earlier, they feel great about that guy.
And likewise for him personally, as a rookie quarterback, has to give him more confidence. So time definitely not in their favor. Down 2 scores, but they'll try the onside kick. And the Panthers are going to recover here, and that should be enough to get them the victory. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
And they take a knee.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something. And they did in this one. So this one is over. A victory for Carolina. And we talk so much about the turnover battle, determining who wins, who loses. This game, no exception. Error-free football, no turnovers at all, and they win it.
So this is one you don't have to convince your team that what you're saying is accurate. And you know what I'm talking about. Head coach always stands up in front of the team and says, guys, if we do this, this, and this, we'll win. And usually they say if we win the turnover battle, we'll win. Well, here's the proof right there. Win the turnover battle, go on to victory. Now the guys believe. You move on to the next lesson where you have to convince them. This one is now planted.
So for Carolina, they climb back to 500 now at 3 up and 3 down. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Big D to take on the Cowboys. Meanwhile, for the Buccaneers, the loss here will move them back to 500 at 3-3. And they'll look to get back in the winning column next week as they head to Philly to face off with the Eagles. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.